What is up, everybody? Welcome back to Broke Man Finance. My name is Adam. In today's video, we're going to be doing a stock battle facing off one company against another. It's been a while since I've done one of those, but today we changed that. And shout out to Phil Hall of Benzinga because he wrote an article about these two companies and brought up some history points I didn't even realize, so make sure you go follow him now. In this video, we are talking about two companies. They're not the sexiest. This isn't Tesla and NIO, but they have made their investors a lot of money this year. I'm talking about Walgreens and CVS. At the end of this video, I will explain which one I believe is the better investment and which one I am buying right now. So make sure you stick around to the very end to find out what I'm doing. So let's get right into it and learn a little bit more about these companies, starting off with Walgreens. For many that may not know, they are actually known as Walgreens Boots Alliance, hence the reason that ticker symbol is WBA. Walgreens was started by Charles R. Walgreen as a food store in Chicago in 1901. And by 1919, he had expanded the chain to 20 Chicago area stores. During the Prohibition era, when the alcohol sales were illegal, doctors were able to write prescriptions for whiskey as an allegedly medicinal treatment, and an extraordinary number of otherwise healthy Chicagoans filled these unlikely prescriptions at Walgreens. Skipping ahead to the 2000s, Walgreens continued to acquire numerous companies, to continue growing that operation. And to be honest, I don't see them being finished with that quite yet. In 2012, Walgreens paid $6.7 billion to purchase a 45% stake in Alliance Boots, the pharmacy retail chain that traced its heritage back to the Nottingham, England-based Boots Herbal Medicine Shop in 1849. In 2014, Walgreens acquired the remaining 55% stake of Alliance Boots for $15.3 billion. More recently, this past March, Chief Operating Officer Rosalind Brewer was named CEO. At the time of her appointment, and what makes that so significant, Brewer was the sole black woman to serve as chief executive of a Fortune 500 company. The company's latest quarterly earnings data, the third quarter report published on July 1st, recorded $34 billion in sales, up from $30 billion 1 year earlier, with a gross profit of $7.1 billion versus $5.9 billion in the year prior. Walgreens is currently trading for around $51.33 at the time of this filming. Now, obviously, whenever you watch this later, that number will likely have changed. But on the year, Walgreens is still up nearly 40%. They've made their investors 40% on their money over the past year. And not only that, they also boast a pretty healthy dividend of 3.72%, which equates to almost $2 per share. CEO Brewer had this to say: "We are accelerating our investments to advance our operational excellence, including technology innovations that support mass personalization, pharmacy of the future, and the next phase of growth in tech-enabled healthcare." Walgreens more recently announced that they will be raising their own minimum wage to $15 by mid-2022. They also just hired Tracy Brown, a former Walmart exec, to be the president of retail products and chief customer officer. Doesn't sound like Walgreens is slowing up anytime soon, and I'm digging that innovative forethought. But in the other corner is CVS. The company CVS started out as a consumer value store in Lowell, Massachusetts, founded in 1963 by the brothers Stanley and Sidney Goldstein and their business partner, Ralph Hoagland. By the end of its first year in business, CVS had expanded to 17 stores in New England that focused on health and beauty products. 17 stores in the first year is very impressive. The company didn't get into the pharmacy business until 1967, a publicly traded company that owned several retail chains, including shoe stores and KB Toys. Melville changed its name to CVS Corporation in 1996. Now, CVS has approximately 9,900 retail locations in all 50 states, the District of Columbia, and Puerto Rico. And it also has a presence in the healthcare industry via its $69 billion acquisition. Yep, I said that right. $69 billion acquisition of Aetna in 2018. CVS is definitely increasing that footprint in the healthcare sector. And if you go to any CVS nowadays, you will likely see a waiting room filled with sick people waiting to be seen. So this isn't just a pharmacy-related company. They've also continued to increase their grocery side too in that retail section. CVS is certainly a bigger company than Walgreens, especially in terms of revenue. Listen to these numbers. In CVS's most recent quarterly earnings data, the second quarter report published August 4th, CVS recorded a total revenue of $72.6 billion, up from $65.3 billion 1 year earlier. CVS is currently trading for approximately $87.47 and boasts a dividend yield of 2.29%, which equals around $2 per share. While Walgreens was up nearly 40% on the year, CVS is up on the year nearly 45%. CEO Karen Lynch, who took over for Larry Mello after he retired earlier this year, had this to say. We continue to play a critical role in helping America prevail against the pandemic while demonstrating the effectiveness of our unique business model, which is focused on meeting customer needs through innovations that make healthcare more local, affordable, and connected. Personally, I believe as time goes on, CVS and Walgreens will continue down different paths and in 10 to 20 years could serve completely different purposes from one another. Now, they certainly have a lot of similarities right now, but they are 100% heading in different directions. CVS and Walgreens are neck and neck in many ways, but my personal opinion comes down to several things. One, well, I think when the company strays too far from what made them successful in this instance, I'm talking about CVS and going more towards becoming a doctor's office than a retail and pharmacy store. Sometimes that can backfire. Exhibit A, Chris Gaines. What were you thinking, Garth? What were you thinking? Secondly, I just like Walgreens better as a consumer. Every time I walk into Walgreens, I feel like I can literally see the company getting better. And I've been to both numerous times, I've been to both hundreds of times, and whenever I walk into CVS, I have the complete opposite reaction. I feel like the company is getting worse. I think Walgreens' innovation and progressiveness will win in the end. CVS is the bigger company, doubling the revenue of Walgreens. However, if you look at the numbers, CVS from last year to this year had $6 more billion in profit. Walgreens, who had overall much less in sales, was able to bump it up by $4 billion. Being a much smaller company, to me, is a more impressive number. Don't get me wrong, CVS will be a very successful company. I think both of them are going to make their investors a lot of money, but if I had to pick one and only one, I'm going with Walgreens. I just think they are a better value play overall with a higher upside because they have so much more growth in front of them. CVS is just heading in a different direction with a lot of competition. So although they're doing great right now, they've made their investors a lot of money, I can see CVS becoming very stagnant later on in the future as they completely change their business model. But let me know what team you're on. Is it Team CVS? If so, then why? If it's Walgreens, let me know why. Let me know in the comment section below. As always, I hope whichever one you invest in goes to the moon and you get rich. I hope you all stay safe, and we will see you next time.